You don't go,
well, it comes 1st of January, like
you're in The Godfather.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right, okay. It's January 2022, which means right away a bunch of people are going to the gym right now. You're going to the Fitness Palace of Love. You want to get in shape and you want to make sure that January 2nd, I know it's not January the 1st, but in 24 hours, you want to have the best physique of your life. Now, that's not going to happen, but the counterpoint, the counterproduct to all of this is that every single media promotion or publication knows right now that you're going to the gym, you're trying to get in shape. So from nowhere, we get articles like this that actually, when you get into the meat and bones of them, are super duper good. But what do? They go all hoo-ha diddly-daddly with the headline, and it's just going to throw you off course. Now, this one does come from the Daily Mail. Kapow, there it is. And I know the Daily Mail is a controversial thing, but someone did send this to me. And loads of people go to this website. I know this because the Daily Mail talks about it all the time. And the flipping headline is exercise won't help you lose weight, says top diet expert who says there's only one way of beating the bulls. Now, if you actually get into the nitty-gritty here, and we're going to do that because I want to just sort of underline a few things, you're just going to read that and straight away be like, well, I'm not going to do any cardio anymore. I'm not going to get on the treadmill. I'm not going to get on the cross trainer. I'm not going to get on the stepper. I'm not even going to go to the gym. I knew it was a waste of time. Here, ho, blah, blah, blah. Now, you may go through the rest of the thing and realize, oh, I see what they're saying now. But the reason I get on my high horse about this so much is that when we do get to January 1st and people have their New Year's resolutions, it's all about trying to get in shape, they don't want to do it. And do you know how I know they don't want to do it? Because if you did want to do something, you don't wait till the turn of the year. If it is December the 22nd, you're sat there eating a bunch of pie, you don't go,
well, it comes 1st of January, like
you're in The Godfather.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
That's when I'm going to start getting in shape. No, you do it today. For example, if I want a Diet Coke, I don't go, oh, I'm going to wait 2 weeks. No, I'm going to go get a Diet Coke right now. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why you can't buy into this stuff. This is why you've got to ignore it. And this is why you have to come up with a plan that actually motivates you and gets you excited and makes you want to go to the gym or go to MMA or go to boxing or go for a run or go for a walk or just wiggle around on the floor. Still counts as cutting calories. So we go through it, and I'm not going to do the bullet point stuff because that's absolutely ridiculous. But the first flipping paragraph is exercising won't help you lose weight on its own. One of the country's leading experts has sensationally claimed. Why is on its own not at the top there? It says exercise won't help you lose weight, says top diet expert. So I'm a top diet expert. I've just crowned myself that right now. Of course exercise is going to help you lose weight. Let's say your diet is pizza for breakfast, burger for lunch, nachos for dinner. I envy you massively. You are living the damn dream. But ultimately, of course exercise is going to help you lose weight if that's your diet and that's what you're eating. And then all of a sudden you start doing, let's just say 1 hour of cardio a week. You bought yourself a treadmill and you're going to do 30 minutes on Monday and 30 minutes on Friday. You are still going to be in a bigger calorie deficit than you were before. Now, you're not going to be in an overall calorie deficit because you're eating way too much, and 1 hour of cardio isn't going to change that, but you will be burning more calories, is what I should say, than you were doing. So you will technically be in better shape and you will lose weight compared to what you were doing before. Well, you may not lose weight, but you see what I'm saying here, right? That is going to do it. So these words are important. On its own needs to be said there. Now, the other thing I don't like about this article, what it goes on to say, let's just go through it. So Professor Tim Spector, who's an awesome person, says that accepted that working out is great for your overall health, especially your heart, but in terms of losing weight, Spector argued that exercise was no use of its own. It goes against advice from health agencies across the planet who state that it is key in beating the bulge. These are not mutually exclusive. These are two things that you have to smash together with your hands. If you're the Ghostbusters, you would cost the streams. You don't just sort out your diet, which of course is what we go on to talk about here. Oh, you need to have a healthy diet. You don't just sort out your diet and you don't just start doing cardio. You need to marry the two together, right? And you need to make it sustainable. So you don't go from your, pizza for breakfast, burgers for lunch, nachos for dinner diet, and all of a sudden have salad every day, because you're going to last about 8 hours, and you get to the evening and you're going to smash yourself with nachos again. And you also don't go, oh, I've got my brand new treadmill, I'm going to do, 1.5 hours every single day. That's right, 90 minutes Monday, 90 minutes Tuesday, 9 minutes Wednesday, so on and so forth, like a crappy version of the Craig David song. No, none of these are going to work. You are kidding yourself if you think you are going to keep up with that, because you're not. Unless you are an athlete or unless you're being paid to do it, it is damn hard to keep that motivation up, especially because this stuff is hard. Even when you're doing it and you're enjoying it and you're passionate about it, if you fall off the wagon even a little bit, you are going to smash into the ground. Recently, I was ill. I know, boring, but I got really, really ill. I was talking about bedridden ill, and all of a sudden, this thing that I love more than anything, health and fitness, was the furthest thing from my mind. You couldn't have done anything to get me to go to the gym because I felt so rotten. And all of a sudden your brain starts going, oh man, I should go eat some bad food because I can't train. You think what the way it would work as a human is you'd be like, well, I'm actually exercising more so I can cheat on my diet a little bit. But that's not how most of the people work, especially not myself. So it's going to the gym. I want to make sure my diet's there. I want to fuel these workouts. And then when I can't do it, it's like, man, I'm just going to stick pizza up my ass. I don't know why we do this, but it's what we do. And that's why we have to get our messaging correct. Because if you do get it wrong, A, you're going to send them down the wrong pathway, but B, they're just not going to continue with it because they don't know what to do. Diet is important. Cardio is important. Same with weight training. People go, oh man, you can't outwork a bad diet. No, you can't. But you still need to be doing the working out part, right? You do not put any more or any less effort into both. You throw it all in a pot and you make yourself some stew. So this kind of stuff I think is kind of crazy. Is exercise of any kind actually plays very little role in weight loss, he stated on Stephen Bartlett's podcast. Now, I'm sure there is scientific evidence to back that up. But again, because this is a recipe and you need all the different ingredients, I don't think it's helpful saying stuff like that because people will take you very, very literally. It then talks about how long-term studies doesn't necessarily help weight loss, and it's been grossly exaggerated as an easy fix for our obesity problem. We're now heading off into the obesity route, and absolutely, totally. If you are obese and you're eating as much as an obese person probably needs to eat to stay at that size, then we do have to look at it differently. But that's not what this article was. That's the first time that obese gets thrown in here, and we're like 4 or 5 clicks down. The only caveat to that is if you have changed your diet, improved your diet and lost some weight, maintaining some exercise does prevent it from going back up again. But on its own, if you don't change your diet, it's no use, and that's well known by all obesity experts and studies. So it's absolutely incredible how much of a ruse this is. And I know, given the website, it should come as no surprise. It wants you to read it, and it did work. There's a very nice person that sent this to me, said, Millie, you're not going to believe this, and maybe they only read the headline before they got into it. It's not a myth. It says here that's a huge myth, particularly perpetuated by gyms and fitness apps. It's complete nonsense. And yes, once again, if you're going to continue to eat a bunch of ridiculous stuff, you're not going to see the benefit. But don't forget that your heart is the most important muscle in the body. So you want to make sure you're taking care of that, and you do it with cardiovascular activity. And don't forget that you are always burning fat. Even if you get up and go for a walk, you're burning fat. Of course you are, to a certain degree. It just depends how much fat you're putting back into your system, because moderation and balance is the key. So if you have got to January 2023, which obviously you have because you're watching, and you have decided that this is the year you want to get in shape, you need to learn about everything. Learn about diets, learn about training, learn about water intake, learn about supplements, etc. Now, some of these are more important than others, but just take it all in and educate yourself. And you don't have to worry about stupid articles like this or stupid bald people like me. You will be able to understand what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. Make sure you're having cheat meals, treat meals, whatever you want to call it, in order to keep that motivation going. Because when you're motivated and you understand what you're doing, it's so much easier. Like if I said push this magic button, you'd be like, what does the button do? I'm not going to tell you. But if then said push the magic button and someone's going to pop out and give you a hug, you'd be like, oh sweet, I fancy a hug right now. You see, it's all about understanding what's going on and not trying to get lost in it. And he goes on to say, being active is key to losing weight and keeping it off. That's what the NHS said, which is true. And it adds that eating few calories will help you lose weight, but keeping the flab off permanently requires physical activity to burn energy. Then it just goes on about calories, blah, 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 boring, boring, boring. And then surprise, surprise, by the end of this article, we're just talking about things like this. Examples of vigorous exercise include running, swimming, skipping, and walking upstairs. Walking upstairs should never be vigorous exercise. If you're trying to walk up some stairs and it's vigorous, then once again, we have entered a completely different thing. And apparently 2/3 of British adults are overweight, with more of us predicted to grow fatter in the future. Rates are even higher in the US. Well, the thing I would say with that one is it depends if we're using the BMI or not. I'm overweight according to the BMI. Do I think I'm overweight? No, I do not. But that's just the way it works. So, always kind of worry about this. And it talks about avoid ultra-processed foods. Yes, that's going to help you massively. Try and eat as unprocessed as you probably can. There's a tip here. If you ever want to see how processed something is, look at how many ingredients there are. Generally speaking, the more ingredients, the more processed. Yes, but then the other stuff it throws in, try time-restricted eating. Eat all your meals in a window of 10 hours. This is intermittent fasting, right? And then fast for 14 hours, most of which happens overnight while you sleep. That's complicated the issue. If you get so into it and you want to try a variation, sure. But don't start with that. That's too hard. Start with increasing your cardio and lowering your calories. Even if you want to still get your calories from pizza, fine. Now, you are going to have to make bigger changes down the line, but that is way too much. And it says, eat 30 plants each week. Now, of course, that's important, but I think there's a better way to put it. If you say plant to someone, they're going to look at you like, what are you, a plant? Vegetables, fruits, things like this. And then the article just ends. And there is a weird picture here. Bowel experts, please. Don't throw away your muesli. These are crazy. So look, When I did read this, I assume a lot of you are trying to get in the best shape of your life right now, and you can do it, but it's super simple. You don't need to get distracted with stuff like this. Make sure you're doing your cardio. I mean, most studies say 90 minutes a week would be more than fine. 90 minutes, was it 150 minutes? I think it's 100 minutes, sorry. 150 minutes a week or something like that. Look it up, right? You'll be able to find it, but it's not the point. Do what you can do. Make sure you sort your diet out, and then in 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks, look and see where you're at. If you want to burn more fat, you understand you need to put more into this. You want to put more muscle on. Again, there's so many different things. I've got videos, other people have got videos. It's up to you to figure out who you trust and who you don't trust. You may not trust me, couldn't even keep his hair. You know, how can I believe him about a video? But I'm never going to stop talking about this because there is no way anyone's going to get in shape if we get bogged down with all the madness. It is the simplest thing in the world. The hard bit comes with the discipline and the dedication, but you'll find you will get that once you get into your momentum with it, right? You just got to give it some time. Then you won't even want to cheat on your diet because you'll look in the mirror and you'll be like, Fabu, I'm heading in the right direction. Let's see what the hell we can do. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. I really would appreciate a subscribe. Almost at 300,000, so that would be absolutely amazing. Also, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about all of this. Maybe don't give a flub. I'd like to hear about it. If you would like some fitness supplements that I believe will support your journey, because I use them as well, you go to grillermind.com/Simon. You can Simon get 10% off. Again, all of these are in the link down there. And there's a loyalty program on there as well if you want to start sort of earning points that you can then spend on these supplements as well. Fitness Palace of Love t-shirts are in the link down there as well. It's Samson, but make sure you use that link so we can make sure we, get statistics for all this stuff. Same with prowrestlingtees.com/Simon Miller if you want some of my wrestling tees. I'm on Cameo if you want a shout out. Valentine's Day is coming. I could say something to a loved one. Patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to support my videos in a financial way. And I do believe that is everything. Twitter and Instagram is SimonMiller316. Give me a follow and send me stuff like this. I'm always happy to talk about it, but mostly believe you can achieve this and you can absolutely do it. There's no magic to any of this, right? It's all deep down here in your tum-tum. I believe in you, and that means you're gonna smash it.